All right. So here's the problem. And I'm looking at my bookshelf, sorry. It's not one, again, it's not one thing. So there's a book called Influence, Science and Practice by Robert Cialdini. I would say, we start talking about onboarding, there's pieces of that. Edgar Sheen on cultural acquisition, maybe that's where I would start. Can I have that book here? I can give you the title. And let's go with that. We'll maybe be a little more focused. So I would start on resources and books on cultural acquisition, like how are cultures communicated, how are cultures acquired, how do we talk about them? Edgar Sheen, Schein, not the exact title of it, but it's about culture. I can't remember. But it's a culture acquisition theory, because that's really what you're trying to talk about. And I'll link this, we'll go expansive. Higher ed is talking about belonging lately. That's kind of been the latest buzzword. And belonging is nothing more than feeling that you are a part of a culture, that you're inside the loop versus outside the loop. How do we do that? How do we do that as an organization? How do we, again, build the process where you start talking about we, not them? How do you get to that point of, well, we are here, we are there? And it goes all the way back to, and you just referenced this a second ago, new student welcome sessions, new student welcomes. And you can go, if you want to look at higher ed, you can go start thinking about George Koo and his original deep research on, these new student transition programs, new student welcomes. It's a rite of initiation. You go into a room as a new student and you leave as a member of that community, right? It is nothing more than that. And so orientation at its heart is to some extent that thing. Like when we talk about the program, the actual physical program is a rite of initiation. You show up in the morning and you're not a student at the orientation programs where you register for classes. You register for classes, you get your ID. And once you get your ID, you're a student. That's your thing, right? That's your talisman. That's your indicator, and truly is your membership card that you're now one of us. And the faster we can do that, the better we're going to be as an organization. And the research study that I want to do that I haven't done that I would love for someone to pick up is students who on their social media post their acceptance letter, what is their retention rate versus students who don't? Because they, at the moment they've received that in their brain, are a member of that community. And talking them out of that is going to take more than struggling in a chemistry class. Talking them out of that is going to take complete and utter failure, but I don't think that those are the students that are going to complete and utterly fail. They may, right? There are going to be some statistical pieces in there, but I am awfully confident that if you were to track the students that post, I'm a Charlotte 49er, the moment they get their acceptance letter, I'm going to guess their retention and graduation rates are going to be statistically significantly higher than the students that don't do that.